Today is a day we set aside for a very special purpose. It is a day when many of us pick up the phone, send a card, gather our families close. We do it to say thank you. We honor the mothers, the grandmothers, the stepmothers, the aunts, all the mother figures who have shaped our lives with their love and their strength. This tradition feels as old as time itself, a natural part of our yearly rhythm. But have you ever stopped to wonder where this day truly comes from? Long before our modern celebrations, ancient civilizations found their own ways to honor the power of motherhood. These early festivals were not about individual mothers, but about the great mother goddesses' creation, fertility, the earth itself. In ancient Greece, people held a vibrant spring festival dedicated to Rhea, revered as the mother of the gods. This was a time to celebrate the life-giving force of nature and the divine feminine spirit that they believed watched over them. It was a community-wide expression of gratitude for the cycle of life and renewal that spring brought forth. Similarly, the Romans had their own tradition called Hilaria. This multi-day festival, held in March, honored Cybele, adopted from the peoples of Anatolia. The festivities were filled with parades. In a more recent historical context, we can look to Europe and find a tradition known as Mothering Sunday. This custom, which began in the 1600s, was tied to the Christian calendar, taking place on the fourth Sunday of Lent. On this day, people who had moved away from home to work, often as domestic servants, were given the day off to travel back to their mother church, the main church or cathedral in their hometown. This journey home naturally evolved into a day for family reunions, where children would visit their own mothers, often bringing small gifts, flowers they had picked along the way, a special mothering cake. These early traditions, from the grand festivals for goddesses to the quiet custom of Mothering Sunday, all share a common thread. They are all about returning, remembering, and giving thanks. They created a special time for people to pause their daily lives and acknowledge their roots and the source of their care. The story of the American Mother's Day truly begins to take shape in the aftermath of the Civil War, a period of deep national sorrow and a yearning for peace and healing. It was during this time that a woman named Julia Ward Howe stepped onto the stage. Many know her as the writer of the famous Civil War anthem, the Battle Hymn of the Republic. But her work did not end there. Horrified by the immense loss of life during the war and the Franco-Prussian War in Europe, Howe envisioned a new role for mothers. She saw them not just as caregivers in the home, but as powerful political voices for peace in the world. In 1870, Julia Ward Howe penned her passionate Mother's Day proclamation. This was not a call for flowers and sentimental cards. It was a powerful tale of women who fought for something more. Her proclamation declared, "Our sons shall not be taken from us to unlearn all that we have been able to teach them of charity, mercy, and patience." While Howe's vision was one of public activism and global peace, another woman, Anne Reeves Jarvis, was working on a more local, community-focused level in West Virginia. Before the Civil War, Anne had started Mother's Day work clubs to teach local women about proper sanitation and hygiene to combat disease and lower infant mortality. During the war, her compassion knew no allegiances. Her clubs cared for wounded soldiers from both the Union and Confederate armies. After the conflict ended, she organized a Mother's Friendship Day in 1868, bringing together former soldiers and their families from both sides to foster reconciliation and heal the wounds of war. She believed that a mother's work was often done in quiet, behind the scenes, and deserved to be recognized and honored. The Mother's Day we celebrate today is the direct result of the unwavering determination of Anne Reeves Jarvis's daughter, Anna Jarvis. Anna was profoundly inspired by her mother's lifetime of community service. After her mother passed away on May 9, 1905, she made a promise at her mother's graveside that she would dedicate her life to fulfilling that dream. She wanted to create a day not to honor all mothers in a general sense, but for each person to honor their own mother, the one who had done more for them than anyone in the world. In 1908, she organized the very first official Mother's Day service at the Andrews Methodist Episcopal Church in Grafton, West Virginia. On that same day, a larger service was held in Philadelphia, where Anna was living. She chose the second Sunday in May to be as close as possible to the anniversary of her mother's death. She also designated the white carnation, her mother's favorite flower, as the symbol of the day, representing the purity, sweetness, and endurance of a mother's love. After a persistent campaign, President Woodrow Wilson signed a proclamation establishing Mother's Day as a national holiday. Once Mother's Day became an official national holiday in the United States, the idea began to travel across borders. The concept of a special day to honor mothers was a universal one. Countries were quick to adopt or adapt the tradition. Canada, Mexico, Europe, Asia, Africa. The American date, the second Sunday in May, became popular in Australia, Germany, Japan. Some countries tied the day to existing traditions like Mothering Sunday in the United Kingdom. Others chose dates with national significance, like Thailand in August. Many Catholic countries link the day to the Virgin Mary. Floral industry greeting card companies, candy makers. They launched massive ad campaigns encouraging people to buy flowers, buy cards, buy chocolates. Soon, restaurants were promoting special Mother's Day brunches. The holiday shifted from quiet sentiment to a major commercial holiday. The transformation broke Anna Jarvis's heart. She imagined personal connection, visiting one's mother, writing a long personal letter. Pre-printed cards and expensive gifts felt lazy and insincere to her. As we look at Mother's Day today, in the year 2026, we can see that it exists in two parallel worlds. On one hand, it is the commercial giant that Anna Jarvis feared, a day marked by bustling stores, online shopping deals, pressure to find the perfect gift. It drives billions of dollars in sales for flowers, jewelry, dining. Advertisements start weeks in advance. They tell us the measure of our love can be found in a price tag. This version of the day can feel overwhelming and stressful. But on the other hand, the true spirit of Mother's Day lives on in small, personal moments in homes everywhere. Shared laughter over a family meal, a long-distance phone call to a grandmother, a visit to a cemetery placing a flower on a headstone, the simple, heartfelt, "I love you." These are the moments that truly honor the legacy of Anne and Anna Jarvis. These acts of love require no spending. They require thought, time, a willingness to connect from the heart. It teaches us that the most meaningful gestures are often the simplest. The original vision was not about grand displays. It was about intimate expressions of gratitude, recognizing quiet sacrifices, unwavering love. As we celebrate today, we have a choice. We can get caught up in the commercial storm, or we can consciously choose to step back and focus on what truly matters. We can reclaim the day for what it was always meant to be. So let this be our takeaway. The truest way to honor the mothers in our lives is to give them something that cannot be bought in a store. Give them your time. Share a memory. Write a letter telling them how they've made your life better. Cook them a meal. Listen to their stories. In a world that constantly tells us to buy more, the most powerful act can be to resist. Let's bring the holiday back to its roots,